No.
We can get a crackhead to watch people cars when they're guests.
No.
When are we gonna ever get a crackhead to do labor around here?
That's not. I don't want you to talk for.
Don't look at me when you say that. People are mad enough at me using the word crack on this podcast.
How dare you? Aren't you Reagan's niece?
We only got 45 minutes. So
45 minutes.
We can't harp on
No
crack
fucking
too
around.
long. Okay.
No fucking around, Kyrie.
No
fucking
fucking
around
around,
today.
Kyrie.
Fucking around, Kyrie.
No fucking around.
7:15, hard out, pal.
It
That's
is.
not what I meant.
It is.
Could you put one of your phones up,
straight
please?
What, hard?
fucking into
What?
it
Could you put one of your
You
phones
said put
up?
hard out what?
One of your phones up. I am not dealing with your shit today,
This is
pal.
exactly the kind of fucking around
This is the
that
kind
we don't
of
have time for today.
Shit. Listen,
What is it in my phone
if you're gonna
this time?
shenan, you stop with one shenan. Do not shenan again, okay? No shenanigans from you, pal. All right.
Welcome to Beyond Bars.
Welcome.
Welcome to Beyond Bars, a podcast hosted at the Lincoln Lodge where we discuss criminal justice type reform, and I think what our new logo, I think our new slogan is not
Just justice.
not just justice. Merch coming soon. Pay attention, please.
Dipset.
We're going to need the money to buy Tyler a slate and to
Kyrie's
pay for whatever.
therapy.
If you want
Supposed to
to
do.
if you want to be down with Dipset, you got to get your lips wet.
No, you don't. I don't know why he would say that.
We are particularly unhinged today because we are recording on a Friday before Christmas. We usually record on Sundays when we're too tired to be as insane as we are
I'm
capable of
pissed.
being. But let's do brief intros because we might put this on Patreon. We're not
Hey,
sure yet.
we don't
We're
know
trying
when
to
we're gonna
start
do it.
one. If you want one, upvote or whatever the fuck you do. I'm Catherine Gongor.
I'm Kyrie the comic.
I'm Arif Shahid. Felonious Monk took the day off. This is my real feelings, you punk ass motherfuckers.
Welcome to the pod.
Let us know if like y'all like, yeah, we want Patreon footage. Like what y'all do before the cameras. What y'all do when y'all hanging out with Tyler. What y'all do when y'all hanging out with everybody else. What y'all doing when y'all trying to get in the building.
Charlie's here. When
We need to stop
know
incriminating
everything.
people behind the scenes that have not.
Yeah, remember that
ordered
time Tyler
their-
smoked? Oh no,
calling
never
them
mind.
out of their names.
Sorry, Tyler. Sorry, Tyler.
We do have a second tie also,
Not-
like pseudo in the building.
Two ties.
Two
We got
ties.
two ties. We got a
Two
Tyler
ties.
and a
One
Tyrell.
No, that's pretty
I
racist.
feel like he's a Tyrell.
Taiwan.
That's less racist?
I mean, his name is Taiwan. You went Tyrell.
Ah, very good. For those, I know you guys couldn't hear that because for some reason today we have the fucking door open and I don't even know what's happening. We just hear. But Taiwan said it depends on what race you think he is. And that's a very good point because he could be
That's a good point.
Asian.
Nah.
Taiwan is a why did you say nah to Taiwan? That's
I
a
don't
whole.
think so.
You don't think somebody would name their
Nah.
child after
I
no
don't
Asian
think
person would do
Taiwan
that?
is- No, I ain't.
Black
no.
people name their kids Africa sometimes.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty black name. It's a pretty black continent.
You don't. What are you saying about Taiwan?
I am not gonna let you put your.
Don't you do
I'm
it?
not gonna let you play mental gymnastics with me.
Wow. Wow.
Save it
That's
f-
very aggressive.
Save it for the comments.
I'm not having a good day, man.
I love you anyway.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey man, talk to us.
Hey, man.
How are you feeling?
Hey,
It
man.
sound like
Fuck
you're
you,
frustrated.
Expedia. I just
Talk
want y'all
to
to know
us.
that.
What
How
is
are our
Expedia?
weeks? We do
I
need
was-
to get better at dropping into like how we're feeling in a efficient amount of time.
Yeah. Like,
How you
yeah, just
Arif
say it.
today.
Not having a good one. Expedia sucks. Their customer service sucks.
Yeah.
Their website sucks. I booked a flight through them. Cost me $800, you motherfuckers. And they said there was a problem with the payment. Well, I knew there wasn't a problem with my card, so I went and checked my bank. The bank had already deducted the money that they said there was a problem with. The airline that they used was United, and United had already sent me a confirmation email and a confirmation text because I'm actually a member of their, special points club, whatever. So within 2 minutes of that, I got another one saying that the flight was canceled. So I called my bank and they're like, yeah, it's pending. We can't reverse it while it's pending. You can dispute it, but you have to wait until it goes through to dispute it. I was like, all right, cool. I called Expedia. They were like, nothing shows up in our records because it didn't go through and you didn't actually get a confirmation from us. All right, cool. So I call United. United's like, no, I see it. I mean, I'm trying to rebook you using the money that is already there, but because Expedia canceled it, I can't access the money. It's back in their account. So I may have to wait. It says up to 5 days for the money to be reversed, which would take me to Christmas Day. I need to be in D.C. on the 26th. Now, I could obviously just book another flight, pay another $800, and just hope that the other $800 come back.
Is crazy.
But another $800 is crazy. Like, the cheapest flights are like $600, and that's when you sitting by the toilet and you got to pay for your bag and pay for your seat and pay to come to the airport and pay to go through TSA and pay to pay. I don't want it. I don't want the fucking Ticketmaster version of a flight. I want a regular fucking flight. I'm already overpaying for the bitch. And all they could tell by the way, their customer service, the reason they suck, I called, the lady was like, if we can't find your number, there's nothing we can do about it. I was like, all right, can I speak to a supervisor? Nah, I'm gonna just go ahead and end the call. And from that moment on, at 4:20 p.m. today, I have been livid. And so I really just want to fight people. But I text my wife while I was on my way here, and I was like, yo, I haven't felt like this since I was, like, I feel like I felt when I was doing illegal shit. Like, I'm you know how you know you're being reckless, but fuck it? That's how I feel. Like, I'm smart enough now to go, that's the mood you in. Let's go be safe. Go smoke some weed, sit your ass down with your friends, be with people that you feel safe around. Yeah. But my inner workings, I'll flip this whole motherfucker. Like, that's how I feel. Like,
airlines and every service around them have just the worst customer service on the planet.
Worst.
I had this last time I flew an American flight to Pittsburgh to see my grandfather, who was like not in good shape at the time. I waited at the airport for not 6, not 7, not 8, 10 hours because they delayed the flight up into 11 and a half hours because if they delay at 12, then they have to refund you and like rebook you. So they delayed this flight, like cancel all these flights, 11 and a half hours. At hour 10, I was like, I can't fly in anymore because these are elderly people. They can't come pick me up from Pittsburgh anymore. You need to book me on another flight. And I know how I approach that desk, right? Like, I'm frustrated, but I know when I come in on like some heat, and I was just like, you got to help me with this situation. Like, what can we do? And the way that this woman turned around and looked at me and she was like, what do you want from me? I was like, what's your name? What's your name? Because it's about to be public.
It's about to be a fucking problem.
I was so pissed.
You know what? My name is Catherine, but I can go to other K.
I was so pissed. I obviously wrote in about it. I was like, this is so crazy for you to respond to me. Like, I'm not just, like, it hasn't been 11 hours of a flight delay. Like, what do you want from me? I was like, what? Anything. Literally fucking anything. An apology would be a good place to start.
So, you know, I love this pod because when we talk about how it's not just justice, if you look at how legislation supporting consumers over airlines, a lot of it has been in our favor under the Biden administration over the last few years. And in fact, some top CEOs of airlines have been vocal about, hey, fuck y'all, right? Because now they got to give us money back instead of flight credit, because if the flight is canceled, give me my fucking money back. Why would I want a flight credit? Take this flight credit and put it in your ass. But
why would they put it in their ass?
Because that's the only thing it's useful for.
Because that's how I fucking felt today. My wife had to tell me to calm down before I called them back.
It's super important that we understand how that legislation impacts us, right? Because one of the things they're looking forward to is the next administration where they plan on rolling it back, which means even less rights and rules for the consumers.
Well, wait, did President Musk say that that's what he was going to do?
Well, I see what he did there, because it's kind of true.
By the way, for this particular story, not to fucking commandeer this, but another layer of this was obviously, like, I'm a white woman approaching the desk. She's a black woman responding to me in this way. And I was like, let me not. I can't even say shit. Yeah, let me not end up on Shade Room tonight. But, like, on the fucking 7 o'clock news, Karen freaks out at American Airlines. But I was like, this is not correct energy. Like, you are customer service.
You know what I really
customer.
like?
I'm not freaking out here. I'm like asking you for a solution.
Hey, man.
And you know, like, I felt very weird about the position where I was like, I feel like you know that you
hilarious.
Like that I'm not gonna freak out right now, or if I am, like, you're gonna start videotaping me. But I was like, this is not correct.
Listen, man, your situational awareness here is hilarious. The idea that you were like, fuck.
I was like, if it were a white woman, I would hit her.
Not a Karen.
I'm a Karen approaching the counter. No matter how it ends up, when the footage comes out, I'm a fucking Karen going all, because I'm definitely right here. I'm already starting right here because bitch, it's been 11 hours. Wow, I ain't got no flight. Okay, here's the thing I should let you know, though. As long as you hear people in the back yelling out Shade Room, you're safe. The worst that's going to happen is somebody's going to look for your name. If you had heard World Star, duck.
Put up your fist
Duh.
immediately.
And I'm
In fact,
saying that
try to
because I
get your back to a
really,
wall.
yeah, I
Try to
don't
get your
want
back to a
you
wall.
to show up at the podcast with your eyes swole
I
shut
want you
one
to
day.
read the room left to right like a
I
quarterback.
heard World Star. I was like, World Star,
Yeah.
I'm more familiar with Shade Room, bitch.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that much time to think. You got like 2 seconds. You
World
got
Star
2
mean the
beats.
swinging is already happening.
Yeah.
The swing is swinging. Yeah.
I cleared I
Okay.
cleared the energy myself. I obviously wrote a bit about it immediately. It was pretty funny.
Oh, you said I wrote a bit. He was
But-
like, I didn't write a Yelp review like I wanted to, but I did write a bit.
No,
Well,
because
you
by the
did-
way, eventually I did contact their customer service. They take you through every fucking loop. They're like, actually, you have to submit a mail-in form about this. A mail-in form. I was like,
in 2000 and anything?
Yeah.
You mailing in shit?
yeah. And I, you know what? If Elon can fix it, Doge that. Like, that's fucking insane.
Doge these
Mail-in
nuts.
form when you have 11 hours of flights delays. God, I was so.
Doge.
I'm pissed again. I'm
Hey,
pissed for you.
Before we
Doge
go,
these ball hairs.
before we go any further, how much THC is in this beverage?
I got 4 times what you got.
Yeah, but I didn't ask you how much was in yours, you motherfucker. I asked you how much was in mine. I'm not
1/4
drinking
of
yours.
what I got.
They both have.
I don't know how much is in yours, so the math is not
Well, you got
mathable.
1/4 of X, motherfucker. You good with math?
Yes, I'm fantastic with math, but I do not have all of the numbers that I
You
need
don't need
to
it all
solve the
because
equation.
1/4 of X equal what you got.
Right. But what is what I got? Do you have 400 and I have 100? Do you have 100 and I have 25? Do you have 300 and I have 75? I could do the math if I know what you have.
I think it's so important that we look at how the legislation is starting to trickle down.
This
It's our day-to-day
motherfucker.
life,
It would
especially
be a perfect
if we
time to call
have-
back crack math, but you guys are too high to do it. I'm not allowed.
That's right. You better
And I'm not allowed.
How dare you?
We'll get
Goldie
into
Locks
it.
You're
wanna
not
do
allowed to
crack
talk
math?
about
We'll get
fucking
in-
crack
we'll
math.
get into
Yeah,
it.
that's right. No
You
white
better
people.
not mention anything.
No white people
We'll
were
get into the
impacted
comics.
by crack.
To be clear, my drink is not spiked today because I took 2 sips of Kyrie's last week. And if you watch and listen to this episode and any of our episodes regularly, I apologize. I
you
was
watch-
high for a day.
If you watch the
I took 2
beginning of
sips
the
of Kyrie's drink
episode
last time. I was high for a day.
and then
I
watch
don't
the
know
end
how
of the
you are
episode,
built-
those are 2 separate Catherines.
So different.
The
So different.
ending Catherine was Catherine gone.
I could even see it in my face in some of the clips. I'm just sitting there like,
They were like, "Oh, is it like Catherine Bongware?"
I
Rock out.
Yeah.
It was
Fuck
cool.
yeah,
It was
dude.
cool.
in high school, people called me ganja, and I didn't smoke weed because I can't fucking handle myself.
Really?
I can't
Damn,
handle
what
my
a
weed.
waste of a good name. Catherine.
Wow.
Ganja
What
would've
the
went
fuck?
Well, we know I smoke now. I just like you know what I smoke. I
Yeah.
get my little like dog walkers joint. I take a little hit. I get whatever joint anyone's paying for. By the way, for this podcast, send it. We'll
Shout
smoke
out
it.
to the
We'll-
people
we'll
who be
review it.
having weed.
But I take a hit or 2 at a time, and I'm fine. I'm a gray high in that one capacity. It was it was stupid. I had been coming off like a long show weekend. Was really tired.
Yeah,
Had
but
a
nobody
Celsius
expects-
too, which is like
Yeah, but nobody expects
Liquid
2 sips
cocaine?
of anything to do anything ever.
I thought it was gonna be like a
forget.
coffee sip. Like I was gonna get a little
Right.
energy, and then I was like,
No.
so.
Kyrie just is.
Congratulations on your constitution because it's not a normal one.
No. It's a
No.
crackhead's constitution. I can say it.
Well, a lot of people in my family argue that I
Nope.
am prepared for crack. I'm built for
Are
it.
you prepping for it? Is that a thing that you
I don't know. I guess it's
building
kinda
the crack
like
foundation?
I think it's like a generational.
It skipped the generation and
No,
went straight to
don't you know how you like over time you morph to become defended?
Yo, when I was young, I just drank a little Coca-Cola. But in my 30s, I have a taste for something. I don't know what it is, but it's calling me. It smells cooked.
Something rocked.
Something rocked up. It's just, sometimes I dream about it. A little piece of soap, it looks like, but I don't know what it is.
You gotta chill, man. You gonna have Hunter Biden phone in. Talking about you.
I hope so. I told you it's Christmas time. I'm trying to pay
Someday-
for,
you know what?
trying to take care of my
2025.
kids. Hey, Hunter, if you out there, listen.
2025.
I ain't got it on me.
manifesting.
I ain't got it to give, but I got it to test. Call me though.
Hunter can come on the pod.
Speaking of,
He's-
Hunter can come on the pod. He's got plenty of
It's not even
experience.
tangential to the
Yeah,
justice
he's
system.
directly.
He's actually part in. I mean,
Yeah.
could not be more.
I would
direct to
actually
it.
love for Hunter Biden to come, mostly because I know he got the hose. I ain't got to worry. Oh yeah, he pulling up.
You stay Kai in the back, raising his fist in the air.
Hey, look, yeah. We know he liked the party. We're not gonna
Close
sit and
the
act
door.
like
Get this
Hunter
shit out
Biden not a fun time. We're gonna sit and act like, oh, I'm
Hey,
Hunter
man.
Biden. I'm
His-
not
his
here
mic-
with a lot of drugs and women.
Yeah,
Yes, the
just
fuck
turn-
he is.
turn-
I don't know
Hunter
why I
Biden got a fucking limo
We
because he
forgot
got a
to-
limo.
We're supposed to tell you that at the beginning of the pod. That's on us.
His
We're
mic
supposed to tell you
has to go
his has to go
a
down.
third.
Whatever his gain is, lose it. That's what his gain.
Hey.
Nay.
Wait, we should use this though to talk, I think, a little bit about while we're doing just sort of like holiday get to know us and like discussion of the pod and where we've come and like where we want to go in 2025 and all of that. Like drugs, I think productive drugs, the drugs associated with the justice system, and like
drugs.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, like drugs that make
like
us
Adderall?
actually feel like better citizens and more.
Oh,
within,
you mean
know
like
what I'm talking about?
mushrooms and weed?
Versus, and then maybe it's like a personal thing, a broader thing. Like, first of all, what drugs do we think we should be legal? Offenses, sentences, moving of drugs, shit like that. Like,
I
you
think
wanna
there's
talk
two
about that?
different answers to that.
Yeah.
I think in a carceral sense, all of them should be legal. Every one of them should be legal, specifically because we live in a place where you're supposed to have freedom to do anything as long as the thing that you're doing isn't harming anyone else. If I do heroin, I'm not harming you. If I rob you to do heroin, I'm harming you. The robbery is illegal. The heroin isn't. And if you're saying, well, the robbery doesn't occur without the heroin should be illegal, then so should poverty.
Damn.
God, we've gotten really good at being efficient. Look at this. Whatever this is the correct formula for him. Do you have thoughts, comments, questions?
It was like, damn, he figured the shit out.
If you want me to prescribe
I
you
agree.
a dose of things.
I think-
That said that there are different, and I agree with you that there's some drugs that are, like, if you need to clean this building, should meth be legal? Do you see my point? Like, there
are a lot of.
I think it comes down to like, are we taking again individual rights and freedoms away from people? Like, are we protecting people from themselves or from each other?
From neither. We're protecting people from not being able to tax.
We protecting people from themselves.
No, nobody's doing that.
I'm saying, but I think that's the argument against.
But it's not a good argument. It's not a good argument
Yes,
because they
it's
have parking lots outside of bars. Like you can't allow alcohol, which causes more traffic accidents every year, and then tell me I can't do mushrooms. I've never heard of a motherfucker like, you know what, I'm on shrooms right now. What I would like to do is go 80 on 95. Let me get on 55 right now, go 200 miles an hour because I think I could fly. No, you want to walk and feel the sun on your face. But you drink a couple of fucking King Cobras or some shit, and now I don't give a fuck. You can't tell me.
How valid do you think the argument is that, both of you, do you think the argument is that, I think also the substances that are illegal, like what people would claim are the more addictive, right, from the first time,
Zero
the second
validity.
time, like.
Zero validity. If that's the case, I shouldn't be able to drink caffeine.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be able to have sugar.
We know about Schedule C drugs, and we know that most Schedule C drugs have links to laboratories, and we know those ain't built on the.
Well, you
Tell,
also know
tell
that-
people who don't know what a Schedule C drug is.
So Schedule C drugs are the things that's gonna get you high. So the hair wrong when you get to dealing with some of them opioids. You know what I'm saying?
I just
You know
wanted
what's,
to hear
you
you
know
say
what's
heroin.
interesting in that though?
What?
Up until very recently, marijuana because Schedule 1 drugs are drugs that have no medical purpose. Marijuana, up until very recently, was considered a Schedule 1. I'm not sure if they changed it. I'm saying up until recently because I remember there was a conversation around it. But heroin and cocaine are not considered Schedule 1 because opiates and stimulants both have medical uses. Both considerably more addictive, both considerably more harmful, both considerably more harmful outcomes based on all of the science and everything that you just anecdotal. Eyeball test says you ain't never seen nobody on weed act like a heroin addict. You ain't never seen a motherfucker at 6 o'clock in the morning leaning against the telephone pole with his pants halfway down his leg, and he's just
Coochie make you do that, but not weed.
Are you? Is everything okay at home? But my point is, all of this is arbitrary.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know what just happened. It's like,
I
yeah,
think
man.
that's the
It's
first
like,
time
yeah,
I think
man,
actually
cool,
3
cool
times
shit,
today
man.
I've heard an audible sigh from me into the mic.
just-
we got an opportunity of something so special.
We're so close. We're right there. We're
So
right there.
close.
And every time we get right there, you say something like, "It smells like backshot air." And we're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Whoa, I thought that wasn't on the air. I thought we cut that.
That wasn't, but thank you.
That wasn't?
Thank you for putting
You
it
just
on there.
fucking did a callback.
I didn't say whose.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, no, I didn't
You know,
want
I
that for
won't
you.
make it, I
I didn't
won't
want that
live.
smoke for you. You said Megan. Wait, what?
I said I wouldn't live. I can't.
Oh,
live with
at
anybody.
that time I really didn't hear you. That
You know,
was
I can't. I would
You
not
didn't
say
say
any
Megan.
celebrity. I'm terrified of fan bases.
you should.
'Cause I
be,
don't have one.
as well. Oh, happy 10th anniversary, man!
I appreciate you,
It's
man.
Kyrie's 10th comedy anniversary.
Thank y'all.
Yeah,
Happy
man.
10.
You started doing
appreciate y'all.
comedy a year after I took my wife on my first date.
That's dope.
Yeah, I took her on 11 years ago today. I took my wife out for the first time.
14.
Iguana Cafe. 2013 is the first time I went out. You started doing comedy 2014.
I actually have a 2014 association with the justice system. That's the year that it's going to get really intense in the other exact opposite way. That's the year that my ex took his own life because he didn't want to go to jail.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. That's not where I thought we were going with this. I promised to sing to the lady on the board. I don't want to put anybody else's name out there because, God damn it.
I forgot how you guys are. That was so inappropriate.
Shit. I wasn't ready for that at all. How you doing, Ty? You good?
I'm good. Thank you.
Shit,
but
you good? All the Ty's good? Anybody?
But 10 years. And also how long I've been teaching in jail.
Here's funny story. Kawinka Dink. Yesterday was my comedy anniversary.
Oh, shit.
Yesterday, 2019, December 19th, 2010. I did an open mic for the very first time. I was facing 5 years mandatory on a gun charge. A buddy of mine was like, man, you should go do comedy. I was like, you should shut the fuck up, you stupid motherfucker. I'll kill you. And he was like, that's way too aggressive for what I suggested. I just said do an open mic. Now you talking murder. But I went and watched him do the open mic on the 12th. And that whole week, all I could think of was, I should fucking do it. And I went back the next week. This is the truth. Remember, we've talked about me feeling like comedy saved me. My case was still open. I had talked to my lawyer that week, and the lawyer effectively had said, I suggest you don't testify, and we just hope that the judge finds a mistake in the case. While that week was happening, another precedent was set. There was a case that got thrown out because there was a gentleman who got arrested. He was standing on a gun, and when they moved him, they found the gun, and they charged him with the gun. And so you have two types of possession. You have actual and constructive possession. Actual possession is literally they got it on you. It was on your person. Yeah. Constructive means it's within your control.
Meaning you either threw it or it was in it was like in a car or
They
something.
can't prove that you touched it, but you should have been, where it was located, you should have been able to control it. And so whenever you get stopped, you'll see police say things. It was in plain sight. It was in plain sight. It was in plain sight means that they found it under some shit.
Constructive.
But they want to make it seem like there was no way you could. So in this case, that's what happened. It was allegedly under the passenger seat. I'm driving. When they threw his case out, because the judge said you can't prove that he knew it was there, and you can't arrest someone because they should have known. You can't arrest somebody because they should have known a gun was present, because you can't prove that. Why would he have known that?
I thought they said ignorance wasn't
Ignorance isn't, but standing near a gun doesn't mean you knew the gun was there. When you walk into a room,
they can't prove that you knew
They can't prove that. Right. So if I walk in here right now and there's cocaine over there, I don't walk into rooms and search the whole room to make sure that there's no cocaine there. I don't walk in. I don't get. And so that was the thing. I don't get in cars and search the whole car before I drive off to make sure that no one's left a gun in it.
Not at a comedy club.
Right. Not at a comedy club.
Nobody would ever have coke
Here's
at a
the
comedy
thing.
club.
If they came in searching for cocaine, they'd be like, sirs, where's the coke? I'd be like, I don't know, but I'm sure it's here. I don't have it, but I can tell you.
That could be the most honest thing.
You guys made a really good guess. You picked the right spot, pal.
We're not saying who. We're not saying
who, what, where. But I will say statistically, you got a good shot of finding something.
It would be a lie to say no.
White House, you gonna find at comedy club.
But yeah, so that week that week leading up to my first open mic, that precedent was set, and my first open mic, like 30 people came to see me. True story. It was like
a lot of fucking
it might have been
support.
80 people in the whole building. 30 of them specifically came to see me do stand up. None of them had ever seen me do stand up. I had never done stand. I didn't know how to write a joke, and I just remember grabbing the mic and talking and thinking while it was happening, oh, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. This is it. This is the thing I do. This is the thing that I do. And I got off stage, and some people did a great job. Some people were like, oh, keep trying. It's the first time.
I remember those days. Oh shit, I remember.
But what I remember more than anything was thinking, I'm gonna beat this case. There was no reason for me to know that. There was nothing that had changed that day specifically, but I knew when I got off, my thought process was
change that day, though.
Something did. I remember when I got off stage,
did?
I was like, the world is not going to allow me to miss this opportunity. Whatever the universe, if you believe in God, whatever you believe in, that power is not going to, that it didn't show me this to take it from me.
Mm-hmm.
Because you did that thing, right?
I did that
put
thing.
the energy and the
And
emotion that you were moving
immediately,
forward.
I promise you, I got off stage and I went, I'm not going to jail. And I told the woman I was dating at the time, I was like, I'm not going to jail. I had 2 more months before I was supposed to go to court. I went to court in February. My boy that was my partner, he was like, you done? I was like, we done. He was like, we done. I was like, we're done. He was like, fuck, all right. And I just kept doing open mics and shows. And then February, I went to court literally the day after I beat my case. The next day, my first video went on World Star. And did like 40,000 views, and it was up from there. But it was like December, this time of the year, has been crazy because I met my wife. December 17th was the first time we spoke, like outside of, like I texted her, that type of conversation. December 20th, we went to. December 17th, we found out my son was coming. December 17th, her grandmother passed. Like this December 17th through 20th is always active. Always active for us.
So astrologically,
yeah, I was
right
about to
now,
say.
Right, I don't know.
It does. Feel
I
like,
do know.
Yeah, it feels like it's something in the stars.
I mean, it might be.
Obviously,
I remember really having that talk with Sheets 10 years ago, and she was like, "Joe, like take comedy serious, like leave all that street shit alone, focus."
I was right before she went to LA, right?
Well, shit, it was a couple years even before then because I still used to pull up. So I used to drive fucking over an hour and go to Second City because it'd be her, and she'd be doing a show with like fucking Chris Red, Cicely Strong, and I'm just sitting in that room like, oh, I'm so broke. But she was just like, yo, this is the journey. And
because Chris hadn't done Saturday Night Live yet.
Nope.
Chris hadn't done what's the movie he did? The Always, you know which one I'm talking about. He played the rapper.
Oh,
it was
shit.
Andy Samberg's group.
Yeah. I know you're talking about. That's a funny
Pop Star,
movie.
Never Stop, Never Stop.
Pop
That's
Star
what it's
was
called.
funny as hell.
Yeah, he hadn't
Like,
done any of that
Dwayne
yet.
was in the room. Dwayne
Perkins
like,
is a genius.
That's what I said. Like, she's really was like, no, do this. And like, you got so many people saying, oh, do this, and that. And I used to always listen to it, and I'm watching her and her friends just fucking kill shit.
And 3-Peat was crazy. Lisa's
Ooh,
Lisa Beasley.
You remember 3-Peat?
Dwayne Perkins. Again, Chris Red. Like, everybody that was part of 3-Peat is doing something. They're either writing on somebody's show right now, they're starring in movies, they're acting, they're doing stand-up all over the country, or they've done these things and now they're moving on to the next thing.
We were
but
talking about-
3-Peat was unbelievable.
we were talking about that a little bit last week. I met Chris at Comedy on State like 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about like Chicago and the way you were trying to like make, just like we're doing with this, like trying to bring, whether it's industry here or not, like substance, professionalism, content, creating things like in and of this city, so that whether we leave or not, whether whomever leaves or doesn't, like there continues to be value added here by the people that like want it
Chicago
to be
has
here,
a
to
really good
flourish,
do-it-yourself
like, help it.
spirit.
Yeah.
Like, New York has a hustler spirit, but Chicago has pretty much a fuck it, if they're not here, we'll build it ourselves type of.
And together, honestly.
right. No,
Like,
there's a, like,
there's no other city, and I've lived in quite a few.
you think about the Lincoln Lodge. The Lincoln Lodge is not an individual pursuit, right? You talk about the Lincoln Lodge cast. You talk about Second City. It's not an individual pursuit. IO, not an individual pursuit. Comedians you should know, not an individual pursuit. All of
My
these
best friend
things
is
were
black.
from My Best Friend is Black. You think about all of these things that had 6, 7, 8, 10 cast members, and as one went out, another came in, or 2 or 3 came in, or they made it. You know, they did things to make up,
MLK is a
to shake
comedy.
it up. The MLK is a comedy. What's the one that Skylar was in?
Young Hustle?
Young Hustle. Thank you, man. Young Hustle. Like all of these groups that were collaborative, and they did more than stand up. Chicago is interesting in that way because if you're a stand up in New York, you're a stand up in New York. You are a fucking stand. If you do sketch in LA, you do sketch. You better
You know
not get
what?
on this fucking stand up stage.
One of the things I
Chicago's
found
the
out-
only place where I've seen where they really just do all of the shit all of the time.
We have to take advantage of it, dog, because it's not like that in other cities. It's starting to get to Shit's starting to blur. No,
No, I'm clear. I'm clear that this is a lot of fucking THC, you son of a bitch.
but I do think that Chicago is special.
when sun turns into some.
Some bitch. Let me tell you, some bitch.
It's moonshine.
I don't know what you put in
Monk
it, but
has
it's
slowly
not.
become a Republican moonshine seller.
I'll
It's
tell
not.
you one thing. Them goddamn Duke boys better not come over here with that bullshit. Me and Boss Hall got something for their ass. Goddamn
It's not
some
right.
bitches.
It's not right.
Dun, 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 dun. Get the rebel yell. Crank that some bitch up and let's get out of here.
I be goddamn,
be
Paul.
goddamn.
We had 45 minutes. We have no time.
I'm so sorry.
There's nothing you can do about it,
Fucking
goddammit.
around.
Tie me up and stuff me in a hen coop. I'm fucked up, okay?
Let's do the goddamn band.
It's Kyrie's fault. He spells his name 3 different ways. It's confusing. Shit.
Next time we record on a weekend, I will not have shows after because
I'm so
being
sorry.
sober is not the vibe.
I'm sorry. Catherine's
fine.
looking
No,
like
it's fine.
they are having so much
Honestly,
fun.
no, I feel so much better this week than I did last week. So
That's
I
good.
did not like, because I like being high, but I don't like feeling like, oh,
No,
I
you were dead.
didn't order this kind of.
I didn't punch in for this.
Yeah, this is.
I said an eighth.
I'm
This
not
is all of the
comfortable
weed.
with this. I don't like that.
One of the things though I think is important is the like the ability, like how do I say, for justice to impact us. So ton of comedians impacted by the justice system, and we see pardons go out for certain people. Like Meech's brother was just pardoned by Biden. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Terrence Fauntleroy,
Big Meech, little brother,
Sweetwater,
Southeast T. Yeah, Southeast T. Pardon. Welcome home, T. But I would like to see more people welcomed home, because like I seen Meech's brother, who's pretty high on the chamber, right? That's on the ladder. Brought home, and then you got the crack ladder. Biden's at the top. Hunter is back home. But what about all those other people? What about the crack users that's off Madison or off the block? What about the crack dealers that's not as big as Meech and them? Why they don't get to come home? I just want to see more of a narrow. I mean, not narrow, but like across the board. It doesn't make sense.
I don't think we're going closer to that. I think we're going farther from that. I think when you have, I mean, I joke about President-elect Musk, but the idea that someone that wealthy has that kind of access to the president is unheard of in an actual democracy. And I'm saying in an actual democracy. And what we have and what we need to stop lying about is what we're doing. Because today, Party City went out of business, closed all their stores, right? Not only did they close all their stores, they closed all their stores 5 days before Christmas. They closed all their stores 5 days before Christmas with no severance package. No one in the company knew. None of the employees knew. They get no severance. They get no some of them can't even apply for unemployment because they hadn't been there long enough. There's just a number of things that they're not going to be able to do. And you can't tell me that they didn't realize until today they weren't going to have it. I would have preferred
someone that worked in corporate HR for many years. That's not
They could have shut down a month
very
ago.
Intentional. You do it on a Friday.
You do it on a Friday. You do it
before a holiday. Honestly,
before a holiday,
as much time as possible to not deal with it. It's
and
not
so
like,
fucked up.
It's,
and this
right.
is right
very
after,
fucked up.
Big Lots just closed.
Big Lots also closed. So we're talking about
the economy is shit.
No, the economy is not shit, and that's the scam. That's the scam because unemployment is low.
It's not.
Inflation is high. No. Within the last year, every major company has told us that they've had the highest profits they've had ever, and that happened because of price gouging. So Target, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, all of these places have said, all right, man, I see y'all ain't buying shit no more. We'll lower our prices again. Well, wait, I thought you guys only had 1% to 2% margin. Oh, no, we was just upping the prices because we could. Because you guys kept saying, you kept telling us it was inflation, so we kept raising the price to see how much of this y'all would accept as inflation.
And they wasn't getting checked by a federal government.
There is no federal government agency to check them. And when Kamala said she was going to check them, people were like, oh, this bitch overstepping her bounds. Okay, then you want to pay more. Pay more. That's fine. But we're at a place now, even the article that you sent me earlier, we're at a place now where it is actively the wealthy versus the working class. And there are a lot of people in the working class who are siding with the wealthy for multiple reasons. I don't know if any of them make sense, but the only one that I can consider is that you think one day you'll be wealthy. You won't, but you're closer to the motherfucker who's homeless right now financially than you will ever be to a millionaire.
And you're going to get closer because your taxes are going to increase if you make less than $350,000. That is Trump's plan. Your taxes will increase.
But even
and
the story that you heard
by the
today,
way, will not decrease because he already called that back.
Why would they?
And your
He's
job
like, it's hard to
opportunities
lower them,
will
actually.
decrease.
We know.
But hold on.
You will pay more for things.
Right now he's saying it's hard to lower them, but you just told us that it was Biden's fault that they were up. But here's what's crazy. The article that you sent me about the dude who stabbed the president of the company. The police are talking about it's a possible copycat. When they asked maybe it's a copycat. I read the article. Nothing in the article says that it was a copycat killing. He didn't shoot the motherfucker. It wasn't a CEO. He just ran up to him in the meeting. He worked for him, so this isn't anything similar to that. And there's no manifesto. There's no statement. What about this is like that?
Clickbait.
The only thing like this, the only way these two things I wish it was clickbait. I think it's something more sinister.
It's like fear-mongering?
I think it's fear-mongering, and I think what they're trying to do is justify these cop cities that they're building all over the country, because authoritarianism requires the people to accept it. You can't just enforce it initially. If you just throw it on people, people will like, oh, what the fuck you doing? But if you start to convince them that they're a bunch of unhinged motherfuckers killing all of the bosses, and especially in this case, this guy's not a CEO. He's the president of a small company the motherfucker just got stabbed. It ain't had shit to do with him being a CEO. He didn't stop this guy from getting benefits. It's not even that type of company. What you're saying doesn't make sense. And they didn't get the United CEO because it's us against the rich. It's because the United CEO specifically was responsible for denying coverage for people. This guy's the president of a company to do farm equipment or some weird shit. Nobody, my cousin wanted a John Deere and this some bitch wouldn't give it to him. Bang, 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 take that. So we got to be really careful over the next few weeks because the media, the fourth estate was purchased by Trump a long time ago. You've never seen anybody get covered like Trump has been covered since 2015. They legitimized the fucking creep, made him into an actual candidate, and they continue to push it. They're going to bed with him now. ABC just settled a suit for $15 million where they weren't in the wrong, but just will settle it to get it over with. CNN has been sliding to the right for years. Everything is in his favor, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But I'm telling you, what's going to continue to happen is the media is going to start painting pictures of these unhinged young men who are attacking the wealthy. The wealthy are in trouble. Kathy Hochul out of
it's not just the media, right? Because
it's happening everywhere.
No, it's happening now because at one point in New York, actually,
too late. I saw
right after the CEO, got smoked. Drug dealers get shot all the time, but that CEO got smoked, and then other CEOs like, we're in danger.
Not just other CEOs. Catherine Hochul, the fucking governor.
An anonymous call-in line.
Yes!
Right, the governor of New York was like, hey.
I think fucking number because your life feels in... because 911, motherfucker!
It ain't but 1,000 CEOs on Earth. What the fuck are we doing?
What the fuck?
Because why doesn't 911 work for them? Why doesn't it work for them?
Probably because so many other fucking people are getting shot and you gotta wait in line.
Because the customer service is the level of an airline. That's why. Because we don't pay people that actually do important
Shout out to
work
Cameron, man.
like 911, emergency response people, sex trafficking response people, like the people that are doing the response to your pain and danger. We do not take care of.
Hey man, niggas get shot every day.
Dead ass, like
Toughen
no
up.
cap.
So 911's not gonna work. You don't feel safe enough with the safety system that you could pay to repair with a quarter of your salary.
I bumped into a person.
I'm high as gas. I just need everybody to be aware that anything I do right now is not me. It's the.
I once bumped into a person with a barcode on years ago, and I didn't understand that was a possible situation of human trafficking.
Well, they had a barcode.
Yeah, I once met a person.
What?
Yeah, I know. So what I'm saying is there was no number to call for that. I didn't know what number to call for that.
Did they do this? They go like, hey, how you doing?
No, it's a barcode like on the back
of her
neck.
There is one now.
Shit. It is one now.
This is what Sam does, by the way.
Yeah, and so this was like back in 2016 or 17, but I say that to say it's so many other numbers. Like, what are we talking about? Why would a CEO, a multi-billion-dollar what the fuck are we doing?
You know,
to your point though, is the whole thing is surrounding, I think, because I sent this article a couple weeks ago, but like on the Chicago budget, right, and all this reserve money for ghost cops, right? The potential to need more police is what there's a whole chunk of money every year. People gave Lori shit for it, but obviously Brandon's doing it too. And it's not uncommon, as I was reading about it, that these ghost cops, like this crazy budget, right? And obviously they're doing something else with it while they're not paying for them, but
buying nice trucks.
Obviously.
For the call Elon.
But even someone that fears potentially being stabbed while they're at their corporate environment is thrilled to have a potential another cop in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
that's why Eric Adams is there. Did you see the picture of him today? Yeah. So they perp walked Luigi from his cell to wherever. They surrounded this motherfucker. It was the sexiest picture I've ever seen. I'll be honest.
Jordan, I'm
taking plenty of pictures. I've taken plenty of pictures in prison, walked away. I never looked that good. I mean, I was attractive in prison, but goddamn, it was the way they lit it well.
There's a huge study to be had around it. Maybe we can just say the word. There's not even a study. It's just like we care about what attractive people think and do more than unattractive
definitely has pretty
people.
privilege.
And so for him he has pretty privilege and still is like, I'll take my ass to jail because this is how much I believe in this, or this is how mentally ill I am. I don't care what you think about him.
But
it matters that he's attractive.
But add this to it because we're talking about optics and we're talking about what the media is allowing and what government is doing. This is how out of touch they are. If Luigi Mangione is the worst person in the world, and the worst thing that you could do as a carceral organization is to make him look like a hero. Dressing up in all of this battle gear, SWAT gear, helmets, bulletproof vests, and parading him out with no vest, by the way. Here's what that says. We're not afraid that you're going to do something to him. We're afraid that he's going to inspire you to do something to us. So let's take a picture of that and share it to people. You fucking idiots. By the way,
yeah, that was like walking Batman to the
right.
Like we
right. It looked like he walking, and then you got Eric Adams behind him
Gotham
with a fucking
City turning on Bat.
That's what it looks like. And then you got fucking Eric Adams standing behind him with no vest on. So is he a threat? Are you in danger or no? Decide.
Eric Adams look like.
By the
Mr.
way, I'm not
Hanky.
even calling
He
this
looks
man.
like a fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Somebody posted the side by side, and now I can't unsee it. That
He
bald
look
head
like-
motherfucker
yeah,
with a big fucking.
Yeah, he look like Jeezy on Ozempic. He looks
Yeah!
really fucking. He looks really bad.
Yeah, man. Mafia, bitch, I'm in the mafia. You going to jail, Eric Adams?
Damn, they said Eric Adams looked like a freeze-dried turd.
That's
in
what
a
this.
suit.
Wouldn't
no
you
one
love to
said
see
that.
now that it's
But
Diddy and
You
Luigi?
did now.
Now that it's Diddy and Luigi in the same place, just the third Eric Adams. Did you see that? He's in the same.
Damn, that jail bussin'. That's a cool-ass jail, boy. Commissary up. Cafeteria up, the talent sheet.
If
Can you
Diddy
imagine
real,
being-
if Diddy wants to get any of his reputation back, he need to drop $1 million on Luigi books real quick. We still ain't gonna fuck with you, but at least you doing something for the hood.
Yeah, he gonna-
No, I don't listen, man. Luigi is whoever Luigi is. I don't know if he did this shit or didn't do it. I know my son immediately saw him and was like, and I was like, are you mewing? Cause he was like, he looked like he mew. I was like, I don't like any of this skibbity toilet. And then I walked out the room because I'm cool.
I don't
hip.
know what that
You don't know
means.
what skibbity toilet means? You don't
No.
be around children.
No, young people say it, but I
still don't know what it
I
is.
started to develop. Don't you know how when people say stuff, you like, okay, like you just.
I'm not
you
interested in figuring it out.
Just, nope,
Yeah,
don't
that's
got the
fair.
time. Nope,
That's
it
fair.
won't be here next year.
I don't have a choice because you
gotta do it every
I got
day.
a person in the house who be like, what the Sigma skibbity toilet, skibbity. Hey, do you know what get means? Yes, son. I've
When they
said
do
it
that
before.
shit, it
I
feel like my
learned that
brain
from a
is
child,
smoothing.
too.
It feel like my brain is just smoothing out.
Yeah, but
And
that's
it's about
'cause
to
you-
ooze through my ear.
That's because you on.
No, that's actually why I keep drinking these.
Why
so,
do you still have two phones?
So
We can cut that
with
part.
This,
I know what I did. I know what I did.
She heard the immediate silence. She was like, that was me. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I know what I did.
That was on me. I shouldn't have done it.
But
More singing.
I
Yeah,
am
there you go.
super excited for the laws that
You
are
just
going to
always
change.
put them up here, just like with all
He
your
does
drugs
it.
last week. You just put them out on the table for everyone to
So-
see your two phones. So sometimes I'm like, fine.
Hey, fam.
Fucking stand-ups, man.
It's not our fault.
So
we also
the-
hit the 10-minute mark, so let's
Correct.
talk. But then, do we want to do comments or not? We'll come
We'll
back
do
to
one comment. Y'all want to
Yeah.
do one
We
comment?
can do a
that. One
comment.
each.
One each.
One each. A comment.
We have decided to review
Jesus
your
Christ.
comments, one each, maybe even
From-
one platform each.
From
To read one
I'm sure
aloud
somebody's called me
this week for the
some type of
holidays.
name.
Our gift to you. I'm gonna go to TikTok.
You going to TikTok?
I'm going to TikTok.
I won't go to YouTube because I'm not high enough.
All of us are avoiding YouTube.
All right, I'm gonna start right now with this gentleman or this lady. Ola Lovely. Her comment says, "But we do though. I had to be taught how to handle being bullied by dark-skinned Americans for I being an African. Nobody tried to course correct, and we'll talk about spelling issues another time. Nobody tried to course correct deranged, self-hating black Americans for being mean to I, an American-born Nigerian. We must teach them how to keep equilibrium, two separate words, with most things. Teaching white kids to empathize with us is begging for acceptance, pathetic and waiting in vain." So, a couple things. One, you didn't have to be taught to handle being bullied. You don't. Anyone who tells you that, hey, you're being bullied, you're the problem, we can't be like, oh, it's victim blaming to do this. So what were you wearing? Where were you? That's victim blaming. That's literally what that is. And if the issue is, because this is what this feels like. This feels like, ooh, I got a beef with black Americans, so let me shoot that in here and completely change the conversation. Let's deflect and talk about another thing. That's one. Two, the reason black Americans and Africans are at odds in the first place is because of white supremacy and global anti-blackness. So the idea that black Americans weren't having to be taught that we are, they are. Black Americans are absolutely having this conversation, and they're having this conversation in larger numbers now because the conversation is now public. Because of social media, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Ethiopians, we're all having these conversations with our black American friends and letting them know. So yes, when you were young, that didn't happen, and that's unfortunate. It's really fucked up. Let's not dance around it. That was fucked up. No, you should not have been taught how to handle it. What you should have been taught was to stand up for yourself. That's not the same thing. And that's the weird part is everybody listened to me say what I said, and they thought I taught my kids not to stand up for themselves. My kids will beat your ass. All of my kids, my daughter, me, my son, my wife, all of us will beat you the fuck up. To say don't accept something, a family ass whooping. To say don't accept something, I'm not teaching my kids to accept something. It's not telling my kids you should be a victim. It's literally telling my kids stand up for yourself. If somebody's being a piece of shit, stand up and say not on my watch. So why is everybody thinking me saying don't teach your kids that racism is their problem means don't teach your kids to stand up for themselves? That's not even implied in what I said, you fucking weirdos. But to you, ma'am, directly, nobody said anything about teaching white kids to empathize with us. We said that the onus is on white people to stop being racist, not on black people to handle it. And I will continue to say that. It is not my responsibility to teach white people not to be racist. It's theirs. And if they're racist to me, I'll beat that ass. Please know me. Next.
Good one. I
got a pretty short, sweet.
3 minutes.
Queen Andy, Queen_Andy said something really simple that I feel. She said, any room where an oppressor is giving a speech to the oppressed is not a room of truth.
I remember that
so
one.
I will just, in my eyes, what I see that as is, hey, if we don't have a bunch of a body of men with no representation of women is not supposed to be making rules, and a body of government that has only one race represented shouldn't be making rules for all of the races, then I would argue that a body of people who all belong to a certain class should not be making the rules for people who are in the working class and lower class. But I guess we'll get to that one day.
And Goldilocks.
We're not even going to address the Goldilocks comment, but thank you for giving us a new joke. Thank you for giving us a new joke.
When I saw that comment, I was like, send it
so many people hate me on this podcast. But from a white woman, speaking of, I think this is a very funny story because on TikTok, by the way, the RFK post, I open it and I ask you a question. So this girl says, I was very scared of where this conversation was going because I started it.
Touche.
Which I totally get. She says the responsibility and accountability should never be on the victim, never. And there's other white women agreeing with her. And all I will say is, like, yes, as a white woman on this podcast, I'm going to do some white shit. I'm going to ask Kyrie why he has 2 phones that he puts on the table for everyone to see. I'm going to be white, but also believe in me. Okay. For those of you, especially every comment here, like all I ask is that you give us our time to grow and develop this podcast. We are all here with good intention. We are all comics. We're all going to say fucked up stuff. That's what we do. But that's not really the purpose of this. So believe in me, believe in us. Thank you, Pinwheels and Shorty.
We have 1 minute left.
Plug away.
DC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 27th through 29th up at the DC Comedy Loft. Still some tickets available.
Fuck Expedia.
Oh, man.
Fuck Expedia directly in the eye.
Always check me out as a comedian every third Friday at Lincoln Lodge. And then, of course, I have my Bob Curry Fellowship showcase coming up. So we'll be in Second City for a month straight. Check us out.
Pew, pew.
I'm in Wilmington tomorrow. This won't come out. I'm in Wilmington tomorrow. I'm in the suburbs next week, and then I'm headlining some dates in Wilmington, Janesville, and a couple around in the new year. We'll promo them. We love you.
Dipset.
Shout out to Lincoln Lodge.
I'm high. Fuck Expedia.
I'm high, goddammit.
Did we do it? Nice.